Hi everybody. I hope your day is going well. Hi everybody, I'm back. And today I'm going to be making collard greens. I have a nice smoked ham shank here, piece of a ham shank. And I've cleaned and washed my collard greens and I've put them in my pot. It's quite a large pot. Actually, it's the biggest pot I have. And I have 4 pounds of collard greens in here. Now, some people will take like these stem pieces, these thicker pieces. Some people go through their collard greens and they pick these out. Now, myself, I like them. They don't bother me. They're a little bit crunchy in the finished product, but I cook my collard greens for a very long time. Excuse me. So everything gets really soft anyways. Okay, so I just leave those in there. Now, I've got the water up just about to the level of the collard greens. It doesn't really need to be above them. They will cook down. And now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take this ham shank and I'm going to nestle it right in here with these greens. Personally, I don't really care if there's any meat in my greens. I use this for the flavoring. Let me grab a paper towel here real quick. Excuse me. So then I just put it down in there, and I don't add anything else. I add some salt and pepper, but I'll be doing that later. Now, this looks like an awful lot of greens, but they cook down so much. So there'll only be like 2/3, a half to 2/3 of this when it's all cooked down. A lot of people use this as a side dish. Myself, I love greens. So I can make a meal on the greens themselves. And like I said, I only use the meat to the shank piece to flavor the greens. Now you'll want to put these, I have them on high right now until they come to a boil. But as soon as they come to a boil, I will turn them down to medium or medium low. And then I'll just let them simmer for a little while. And as they first start to cook, they let off a lot of chlorophyll. So your whole house is going to kind of smell green. But after a little while that passes, and it doesn't bother me. It kind of smells like fresh cut grass, only a little different. But it will let off some odors. So you might want to have your exhaust fan on if those odors offend you. They will not be there in the finished product. Now, I will not season my greens until later, and when I get ready to do that and they've cooked down, I will be back to show you what I'm going to do with them next. Okay, I'll be back. Okay everybody, I'm back, and as you can see, my greens are starting to come to a boil. They're already starting to, cook. Whoop. Ooh, got a little tongue-tied there. It got steamy, and so anyways, as you can see, they're starting to come to a boil and they're already starting to cook down a bit. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take and push this shank down into the greens. Just going to bury it in there. Just bury that baby. Let them swim in those in those greens. And dark leaf, green leafy, man, I can't talk at all today. Dark green leafy vegetables are extremely good for your body. They are nutrient dense, and they're rich in vitamins A, C, and K, and they're important in the fight against cancer, macular degeneration, heart disease, and more. So it's really important that you can incorporate dark green leafy vegetables into your diet. They're also a powerhouse of vitamins and minerals. Okay, now when these come to a boil, I'm going to take this lid and I'm going to put it on the pot. Okay. There we go. But I'm going to leave it tilted. I don't know if you can see that. Leave it cocked just a little bit so that more air can escape, but so that they don't lose all of the nutrients, because I want that steam to rise and fall back into the pot, but they do need to be able to vent. Okay, but like I said, I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to do that when they come to a full boil and I turn them down to low so that they can just simmer for hours. It's really early. It's about 8 o'clock on a Saturday morning. I've been up for a couple of hours getting ready to do all of my things today. And, excuse me, it is an absolutely glorious day outside. The high is supposed to be 72, very comfortable, and I'm going to take a ride out into the countryside. So I've got my greens on. I'm going to be doing something later with these golden potatoes. Like I said, I generally don't, on the first day I make my greens, I generally don't have anything but greens. I love them so much that they are a full, complete, and satisfying meal to me. Okay, I'll be back in a little while. Okay, as you can see, my greens have come to a full boil. So I'll go ahead and turn the heat down to low. And I'm going to wait until that boil kind of calms down a little bit before I put that lid on, because I don't want it to boil over and get all over my stove and make a mess. So I will be back. Okay, my greens are simmering nicely. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn them down even more, because I want these bad boys to just sit here and simmer for hours. If I need to, I can add a little more water, but I really like them after they've cooked for a few hours. And the flavors really mingle and marry, and it just is a wonderful, wonderful flavor explosion. Okay, I'll be back when this simmers down just a little bit and put the lid on it and let it cook. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, I'm back, and as you can see, this boil has really reduced and simmered, to pun the word, and simmered down to a low simmer. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put my lid up on here. Leaving it cocked. You can also put a toothpick in it, which I think I'm going to do. I'm going to just reach over here. And my toothpicks. There they are. Okay. I'm going to reach over here, and I'm going to pop this toothpick right in here. Come on. Just to keep that up, to let a little of the steam out. But not too much. It'll still, the majority of the steam will rise to the lid and drip right back down into the greens. And that's really what I want, is to keep as many nutrients as possible in the greens. But you do have to let them vent. Okay, I will be back, and now it'll be at least 2 hours, and I'll be back to show you how they're coming along. Okay, see you soon. Okay, everybody, I'm back. I'm just going to come in and check on these greens, and I'm going to go ahead and season them now. They've been cooking for, at least a couple hours. I'll lift that lid away from me, but let all those juices drip down into the pot. You always want to be careful when you're lifting a lid that you don't lift it towards your face and perhaps get a steam burn. Always try to use safety first when working in the kitchen. Okay, so I'm going to give these guys a little stir. And I'm going to back up just a little bit because it just completely fogged over my lens on my camera. And there's my smoked pork. Try to get it up here. Try and get a good view down in there without fogging up the lens. And as you can see, that meat is starting to fall off the bone to release. And there it went ahead and released. But I want to leave that bone in there because there's lots of good nutrition in the bones. Here, maybe in the next month or so, I will be doing a video on how to make nutrient-dense chicken and beef stock. Okay, so these are doing really well. I want to let them continue to cook because, like I said, I like them just to slowly simmer all day. But I have another video that I want to shoot, and I'm preparing for that as well. And while these have been cooking, I have been out on my back patio enjoying the fresh air and the morning sunshine and working with my plants, watering, fertilizing, and getting ready to transplant several. Okay, so now I'm going to come in and I'm going to season this. And what I'm going to be using today for my seasonings is I have my Himalayan pink salt, black pepper, and garlic. I really like the flavor of this. I don't think I'm going to be using this garlic powder because I already have some garlic going in. I'll check it later and see if I think it needs more garlic. And here, right here, I have some onion powder, and whoops, right here I have some organic ground white pepper, and then here I have some red wine vinegar. Okay, so let's get to seasoning. Greens, they have no seasoning except for what's coming in from the meat. So you really kind of need to season your greens well. I don't particularly care to put onions or anything like that in. I just want the full greens. So that was some onion powder. This is some ground white pepper. And I am going to come in with some salt. I'll do that in a minute. Right now, I'm going to come in with some red wine vinegar. That helps to kind of pull some of the nutrients out. And I really like the flavor that it imparts. By this evening, when we go to eat this, that will have pretty much evaporated away. You will have a small vinegar flavor, which I think pairs extremely well with greens, but the majority of that, as I said, will cook away. Oh my goodness. These look and smell so good. I just can't wait till tonight, dinner time, and I can have me a big bowl of greens. Like, I could not be happier. Okay. I'm trying to find my salt. Okay, I'm just going to get my my salt mill out and my pepper mill out, and I will be putting in some cracked black pepper and some cracked Celtic sea salt. I need both hands to do that, and I don't have a tripod yet, so I will be back when I get those in. Okay, be right back.